Yo, what's good, boys? In this video, I just want to document real quick our upcoming launch. I want to walk you through exactly how our project management looks like, exact tasks that we're currently working on, and I'll try to sprinkle in some sauce along the way and things that we're implementing to make this a six-figure Webby launch. So, without any further ado, let's hop straight into it. So, I'll start with things that I've already done. So, we've set up the sales channel for the team. You can either have it on Discord or Slack. We have ours on Discord, and it's just a simple place for everyone to meet, talk, send EODs, reminders, etc., etc. Next up, we have offer breakdown. So this is actually just me going over all the offer that we currently have and make sure all the offers are good to go, and it's actually something that people are going to want and is going to convert well on a webinar. Next up, we created the master tracking sheet. We were just using Google Sheets for that. We also have other softwares, so I'll walk you guys through that in a bit. Next up, just EOD and post call report for the sales team. So, for your sales team to actually give back data to us that we can, put into the tracking sheets. Next up, we have identifying our in market audience. So, I'm going to stop here for a little bit. Why this is important: we're launching ads, and this is going to be the creator's first ad campaign. So when you're launching ads, you always want to start with in-market audience. So we had to identify that audience real quick, so that way we can tailor all our messaging around it. So basically, what an in-market audience is, to keep it short, basically out of your whole total addressable market of people that you're targeting, there's going to be 3 to 4% that are identified as in-market audience, and that's basically just people closest to basically saying yes to whatever you're offering. So let's give an example. If you're running a sales mentorship, your in-market audience would be people that are already looking to get into high ticket sales, right? They already know about the info space. Maybe they even have sales experience from door to door, et cetera, et cetera. They're just like the closest. And the one layer that's above in-market audience, where you are scaling potentially after you run out of your in-market audience, is needs convincing. Now in our case, that would be people that maybe don't know about the high ticket space yet. They can still obviously know about sales. Maybe they are currently in a sales job, but they have no idea what the info space is, right? And you need to convince them on what the info space is about, right? So that would be a difference between in market and needs convince. So because we're launching a new ad campaign, we're targeting our in market audience first. So we had to identify that and tailor our messaging for that. So next up, we have closer setter SOPs. Pretty self-explanatory. You just want your onboarding process to be as smooth as possible. All the training, meetings, etc., etc. You want all of that to be in SOPs, including scripts and all. Next up, set up close CRM webinar pipeline. So for our CRM, we're using Close. So as simple, just create the actual pipeline for your team to use once the funnel is up and running. Next up, market research. Again, just researching more about the industry and getting more data on exactly our avatar and who we're talking to. Next up, I have migrate to ClickFunnels. So basically, we're hosting our all funnels on ClickFunnels. So that's what we're using, and I just had to migrate all the pages that I've built to ClickFunnels and make sure everything is good there. Closer scripts, setter scripts, pretty self-explanatory. Just create the scripts for all the scenarios that we have. That's mainly for setters. For closers, could be downselling scripts, objection handling, etc., etc., etc. So next up, we have webinar funnel Zapier automation. So this is just pretty much connecting everything together. So your funnels to the registration form, to the webinar hosting platform, to the emails, to the SMS, all that, all the automations on the back end. And next up, we have just some inner stuff, like uploading all testimonials, and then just some access stuff. So now we get into the in review. So we're getting a firm. So if you're interested in that, by the way, if you want a firm, there's actually a loophole. You can DM me. I can connect you to my guy. We're currently in process of getting that installed for ourselves. So you can get a firm. If you've been around, you maybe had it before. A firm is good to have and is a great financing option. So next up, writing 15 direct response ads. That's for our first campaign that we'll be launching. Next up, static ads. And pretty much the approach that you want to use here is diversification. So we have long scripts, we have short scripts, we have statics, we have videos. Um, Basically, with the new update, you want as much variety as possible, and you want Facebook to be able to test a lot of creatives. So that's why you will need a lot of creatives. And actually, this is old. I actually wrote 24, not 15. So yeah, and statics I got way more as well. So basically, you need a lot of creatives to test, even if you are launching with a smaller budget. So next up, we have the webinar nurture flow. So this just is all the emails that we're going to be sending to people, including all the lead magnets and things that we'll be giving out on the way as well. Next up, we have the actual SMS sequence, simple thank you page VSL, bridge page VSL, which basically the way we are running this webinar is we'll have a registration page. After that, we have a bridge offer, which is basically just a low ticket to liquidate some of our ad spend, as well as target those people specifically and optimize our pixel based on these purchasers. So that's what the VSL is about. And then, lastly, we have the actual thank you page. So next up, we have the actual nurture sequence. I don't know why I have this. Oh, my bad. So this is actually writing all the emails and sales assets, and this was just setting it actually up in our ESP. Lastly, we have the hammer them ads. So basically, what we're doing to increase our show rates and make sure people are actually nurtured and ready to buy on our webinar is we're running a hammer them strategy. So what that is basically you're just hammering your audience with a custom ad campaign that's only targeting people that have registered for your webinar. And basically, you're just putting strategic content pieces in front of their faces. So you're handling objections, you're answering questions, and you're setting up expectations. So if they, keep seeing you pop up on their page and all the content pieces are, super strategic, answering their questions, handling objections, setting expectations, what they're going to do, they're going to keep thinking about you and they're going to show up for the webinar, right? So that's what we did there. Next up, I'm currently setting up the SMS software that we'll be using for sending SMS reminders. Also creating the upsell page right now, as well as the webinar slides. And we're still in the process of hiring a fire closer. Now to the things that I have not started yet. So we have actually setting up the ad campaigns inside Meta. So we have the retargeting warm ad campaign here. Next up, we have creating the actual WhatsApp business channel. That's for, just extra reminders, more resources, and just a place for people to, hang out prior to the webinar, where it's basically similar to email, but, a WhatsApp platform where people are using that even more than email. So it depends, again, on your ICP, who you're talking to. Maybe your audience is more reactive to email, but it's always good to, have it all. Not really a question of if or that, but a question of, this and that. Next up, I need to set up the actual webinar hosting platform. We're actually testing a new platform. I'm not using Webinar Jam for this one, so we're gonna see how that one works. Next up is just setting up all the pixels and test all events, making sure all the tracking is good. Setting up the actual hammer them strategy ad campaign, the cold direct response ad campaign. Next, plan the actual organic launch. So we'll be launching through YouTube, IG, TikTok, Twitter, you name it. The best approach is to just really go out there and leverage every single piece of organic traffic that you do have. Next up, creating the actual lead magnet. So again, we'll be giving out a bunch of resources inside the WhatsApp chat, inside the emails, during the webinar, after the webinar, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of lead magnets, a lot of sales assets are going to be given out. So we need to create all of those and then create the actual bridge offer. That's the low ticket offer that I was talking about on the middle page. And set up YouTube retargeting ad campaign. So we're actually going to be running YouTube ads as well, because the creator is very active on YouTube. So it would be a waste not to, retarget all that audience that's already warm and, basically closest to saying yes. Next up, I need to create the feedback form, which basically at the end of the webinar, in order for them to receive another lead magnet, they need to fill out a feedback form, which is basically just us asking, how they like the class and why they didn't take action. Now, then we have all the application funnel automations and application setup. So basically at the end, we're going to be pitching people to apply to work with us, right? So we need all those automations in place. write the actual YouTube ads, set up Trackio, which is what we'll be using for tracking, and then just write post webinar email. So again, after the webinar, we want them to, take action, show up for our pop-up event, and watch the replay once we launch that. So that's basically everything. I just want to create this quick video, document on this real quick so you can see what are all the things that are coming into launching a webinar campaign. And yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff, but it's all worth it because this funnel is, just absolutely amazing. And yeah, it prints a lot of money. So drop a like if you enjoyed this video, drop a subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me on IG, and I'll see you next one. Peace.